They wanted us to clarify some things, see if you guys had any questions, because they figured rather than trying to make you watch a presentation from AP, it'd be better for you to interact directly with me. All right, so summary of resources available for testing. So this testing guide is available. You're going to get an exam day checklist, which was also emailed out to you. I will try to get that posted on my blog for you. Required documents, any specific information that you need for the exam, which includes the AP Physics 1 formula sheet. You need to have that. It's the same one that you have in your notebook from my class. You can just use that one if you have it printed out still. There is a testing demo that will be available on May 4th. You should try this out as soon as you can on May 4th, because if you can't access the testing demo, you can't take the test, right? So this is to clarify that your equipment is working and everything is connected, and you will be able to submit your results. So make sure that you do this. I'm going to go through some more specifics on that as well. Let's see, there's detailed facts and exam pages that I'll have for you as well. I'm going to post everything I can. Your testing tickets, they are not given to me. You're going to get those emailed to you. It will be emailed to the email address that you use to register for the AP exam, which may be that dummy account that you used from the Cobb Schools email address. Make sure that you change your email address to make sure it is one that you can actually check and get emails at. That way you'll be able to stay in touch with that. If for some reason you don't get the email, some people get their emails spam filtered. If that happens, you can log into the AP classroom and your ticket will be available online for the exams you're registered for. So it will show up that way if you don't get the email. You must have an AP e-ticket to test. You're going to get it 2 days before the exam day, before the test day. On exam day, you're going to need it to check in. It is a unique ticket for each exam you're registered for. You can go to myap.collegeboard.org for your MyAP account, the same one that I made everybody sign up for at the beginning of each semester, and that will allow you to access it as well. It's personalized to you. It's not transferable. You can't give that number to somebody else. You can't share it with somebody else. It could mess up your testing if somebody else tries to access your ID. The AP program can't accept any additional exam registrations for this year's exams. So if you didn't sign up for one during the regular time period, you're out of luck for this year. Everybody from my class signed up for it, so everybody has the option to take it. Make sure that your May e-ticket, that you save your May e-ticket email in case you need to request a makeup exam. So I'll go through this multiple times. If for some reason you have a problem with your exam, your ticket is your way to register for a retake. That means you don't do it. If you don't take the exam, you don't use this ticket, that allows you to be able to register for the new session. We'll talk about that specific stuff as well. Your e-ticket will be valid for the May exam schedule. All students have been scheduled for these May dates, whether or not you originally registered for regular or late testing exams. Unless there's a conflict, you should have your test in May. The June dates are backups. It's going to be more crowded. There's going to be more exams per day, and there's going to be more conflicts. So if you are taking exams, get them done in May. So if there's a problem, a technical glitch, your computer disconnects, you can't access your ticket, you've got a backup date in June. If you plan on trying to take it in June and something goes wrong, you're out of luck. There's one shot worldwide. Everybody in the world is taking these exams at the exact same time. If you can't use one of these dates, don't use your e-ticket for the exam. You will receive a different e-ticket for the makeup testing in June. So they will automatically, you got your ticket, you save it, don't use it, you're going to get a rescheduled date. The time for the AP Physics exam is Thursday, May 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's listed here on this chart. And you can see all of the different exams and the dates. They set this up to minimize conflicts for students that are taking multiple exams, so there shouldn't be any conflicts. If there are, you may have to use the June date as your backup. All exams offer the June date backup. Here is the backup listing. If If you have a conflict in May and don't use your ticket, you're automatically going to get a ticket 2 days before these dates. You can also request an e-ticket for June makeup dates if any disruption occurs during your May exam. Say you get disconnected from your computer, say you get violently ill, say your internet goes out. You can use that, your current May ticket, to request a June ticket. If you have a problem with connectivity, they're logging that. They'll know that they're connected to you or not. So please make sure that you don't just go sit, take a look at the answers to the questions and try to take the exam again. It's going to be different questions in June. You'll receive your makeup ticket 2 days before that exam. There are more conflicts in June. No additional scheduled makeup dates are after this June 1st through 5th window. So if you don't get it done in one of these 2 testing sessions, that's it. Tuesday, June 2nd is the AP Physics 1 makeup, and the time is 2 p.m. Eastern time, so 2 p.m. local. Reminders about the exam schedule. Each subject exam will be taken simultaneously. Your AP teacher or coordinator will help you identify your local testing time. You don't have to worry about the art design. There's some other stuff in here for some other classes. The seminar stuff, you don't have to do any of that. Our test is at 4 p.m. on 5/14. If you happen to not be at home in Georgia, you're going to need to check to see what time zone you're in to make sure that you are on at the right time. If you're in Alabama, you're near the Gulf. You might be in the central time zone and your test could be at 3 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. That's up to you to determine that. Please, please, please be on top of that in case you are traveling or not at home during the exam time. Requesting a makeup exam. If you have any issue on exam day that prevents you from testing, you're directed to online AP makeup testing request form where you can describe what happened and request an e-ticket for a June makeup exam. You can also access the form at cb.org/requestmakeup. This is if you try to get into the exam and then have a problem. You must have your original e-ticket when filling out the form. Submit the form within 48 hours of the original exam date. Don't wait a week and say, oh, I couldn't access it on the 14th, but it's the 21st now and I couldn't get in, so I'm going to try to do June. Get it done right away. They'll review your form, send you an email approving or denying your request the week of May 25th. If you're approved, your makeup e-ticket will be sent 2 days before the exam. Don't call them. Call centers across the country have been shut down because people are sitting in a crowded room with a bunch of telephones. It's not a safe health situation. So call centers are closed. So if you call, they're going to tell you to fill out an electronic form and wait for an email approval. I think everybody that's working on this is doing it from home. Rest assured you'll receive approval for any of the following types of issues you encounter or similar ones. Sickness, you start puking in the middle of the exam. Not from nerves, probably from illness. Significant interruptions from family members. Something happens and somebody gets sick and you have to take them to the hospital. I don't know. Something comes up like that. That is a significant issue that reflects your ability to complete the test. Battery failures. Please, please check your computer or device that you're taking the test on in advance to make sure it's powered up and you have enough power. Something happens and the power goes out. Battery failure, power outage, any kind of technical disruption, it's going to eat up your time, and the time starts when you log in to take the exam, and it's the same time for everybody. So it will start on time. It's not like if you say, oh, well, I'm going to wait till 4:15 to start so I can go 4:15 to 4:45. No, you start at 4 o'clock and your time ends by whatever the end time is scheduled for our test. We'll go through the specifics of the timing for it as well. Simply running out of time to submit a response is not a valid reason to request a makeup test. This is important. You're going to submit your responses for your test questions, and if you don't get them submitted in time, it doesn't mean it has to be finished uploading. You can start submitting them within the window, and if it's uploading them, you're fine. If you don't start doing it, you're like, oh, I got 2 minutes. I'm going to keep writing on this question. Oh, 5 seconds. And maybe now I'll submit it, and your time runs out before you get it submitted. That's it. You're done. That is not an excuse to retest. So please be on top of all of that stuff. The system it's a first time they're doing this system, doing the testing this way. The makeup testing request form is only for students who test in May, encounter issues, and need another opportunity to test. Students that already have known conflicts with the May dates can test in June simply by not using your May e-ticket. Just wait. If you don't log in and take the test, you're just going to get the one for June regardless. You'll automatically be issued a June e-ticket. That ties into refunds for the testing. If somebody is not testing, not taking a particular test, you want your money back, what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, did you log in May? Hey, did you log in June? And if you didn't do either of those things, that's how they'll handle the refunds. If you log in and go, man, this looks hard, and you exit out and don't take it, and you don't log back in June for the retake, that's it. You're not getting a refund for it because they're going to count that as attempting to do it. If you don't plan on taking the exam, just don't log in, period. I don't think anybody in here, well, maybe, I don't think I have any, if many, that paid for this exam. You paid the registration fee through the school. That's not refunded anyway. If you got this as your free STEM exam, then you're not losing anything to take this exam. So I highly recommend you try to take it. I'm encouraging everyone to take it. It's different circumstances, a different exam, not necessarily the best preparation for second semester folks, but try it. All right, 5 steps to take before exam day. First, review your contact information. Log into MyAP, make sure your email address is one that you can actually check. If it is that Cobb County kind of bogus email address that some people use to register, change that. Please change that because that won't get you in. Check your technology. Make sure you prepare your device and the documents that you're planning on using. That includes the formula sheet. I'm going to talk about some other things that you can have as well. One of the things that they're allowing you to have is any notes or things that you have from your class. I'm going to give you a edited version of my physics Bible that I gave you bits and pieces of during the semester that you can use. I'm going to edit out the stuff that's not on the exam, so you'll only have the stuff that's relevant. You can have that sitting next to you. They will allow you to do that. They don't care. Practice submitting your response on the online demo day, May 4th. I'm going to be doing this. I want to try to log in and make sure I know how to submit, so if you have questions, I can answer them. The AP World Languages exam app will be available the week of May 11th. Don't worry about that if you're not taking a World Languages exam. Gather what you need for each exam. Consult cb.org/AP exam day docs. Download, print, or gather additional materials for your specific exams. For our exam, it's that formula sheet, same one that we used in class. Receive your exam confirmation and email tickets. If you get emails with your AP ID and your exam e-ticket, this information will be in your MY. If you don't get it, you'll get it in your email. If you don't get it, it's in your MyAP account. 2 days before the exam, I'm going to try to send out reminders to say, hey, check to make sure you got your ticket. Make sure you log into MyAP and have your ticket. That's the time to worry about it 2 days before, not the day of. Review your contact information. If you don't receive email updates from AP, sign into myap.collegeboard.org, confirm your email address, click at your profile at the top right-hand corner, go to your account settings, make sure that that is an email that you can access for your e-ticket. If it's mom or dad's email address, maybe consider setting it up as your own so that you can get it. Make sure that you put a contact in your email address book, whether it's yours, mom's, dad's, or whoever's, for College Board at e.collegeboard.org. That way it doesn't get blocked as junk mail or spam mail. I've been teaching AP Physics for several years now, and I still get their emails put in my junk mail. Please, please, please go ahead and add that so that you make sure you get their emails. In subscriptions, confirm you've checked the box to receive updates from College Board. Let's see. Don't worry if you can't get emails from AP. Go to your MyAP account and you'll still be able to get your ticket. Choose the tech, check your tech, choose your device. You are able to do this test in multiple formats. You can do it on a tablet, you can do it on a laptop, a desktop, you can do it on a phone, a smartphone. Make sure that you have your device working, and however you're planning on taking it, that's how you do your check on May 4th. You won't need the lockdown browser. There were rumors going around that the lockdown browser was going to be required, which locks down your computer from opening other tabs and things. They're not requiring that. They're not locking up your computer while you take this exam. If you have the Grammarly plugin on your computer, some people have Grammarly to help with spell check and editing and all that stuff. You have to remove that, and that's not a case that they're afraid you're going to cheat on your exam with Grammarly to make your writing look better. It is a problem with Grammarly, specifically the way it interacts with their testing program. If you use spell check or anything else like that, they don't care. That if it's in Word, grammar check, or spell check, that's not an issue. It's just the Grammarly plugin for your browser, I think. Remember, world languages exams have specific device requirements, which probably doesn't apply, may not apply for you. When choosing between handwriting and typing, you can handwrite your answers and submit pictures of your handwriting, or you can type it. This year's questions do not require you to submit graphs or diagrams. There's no visual information that you have to present. Well, that's good. That means you don't have to draw out a complex lab setup. You shouldn't have to do any complex problem solving. You may be more comfortable handwriting your responses if you like calculus, chemistry, statistics, and you want to write out your responses. That's fine. You could do it for this one as well. But if you can type out your response to those subjects, or if there's some symbol that you want to type in, maybe you want to say alpha for angular acceleration. There is a symbol and formula information sheet at cb.org/AP Exam Day Docs that will tell you how to do that. Most other subjects using a smartphone will require scrolling back and forth within a question, which may be frustrating. Highly recommended you do a desktop or laptop if you can. You can do it on a phone. You could take it on your phone. It's going to be a pain because you're going to be going back and forth to the question and then back to where you're writing the answer. Much easier to do it in one place. All right, let's see. Option 1, copy and paste a typed response, click submit. Okay, so if you're doing a laptop or desktop computer and you type out your response in Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, something like that, don't include images, save your work often, type your AP ID and initials at the top of your response. That's your individual AP ID, your initials. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, copy paste your response in the space indicated and click submit. This is super important. There's going to be a warning when you're testing that says you have 5 minutes remaining. The time that you're supposed to take answering the question ends at that point. That extra 5 minutes is just for you to submit the problem. Don't go, oh, sweet, I got 5 more minutes to work and then I'll submit. If you do that, you run out of time, you get no points. Make sure you've submitted before that. Exam day setup, side-by-side windows. It's recommended that you have 2 windows open. One with your browser, your internet browser with the question. Display your test question. It'll have your timer on there telling you how much time you have left. You can use that to paste and submit your typed response when you're done with it. And then have window 2 where you type your document, Google Doc, Word, Notes, etc. Notice how in this picture they have them side by side, so you can see both the question and you can see your answer as you're building it. Attach the document, click submit. You can also do this, option 2. Type your response to Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, or something similar. Don't use images, save your work. Save your document in one of these file types, .doc, .docx, PDF, TXT, ODT files. If you're saving it as one of those types, you're good. Type your AP ID and initials at the top of the response. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, then you attach your response and click submit. If your exam has 2 questions, you must create, save, attach, and submit 2 separate documents, one for each question. That's right. You can't do one file that has all your answers. You've got to have one for each answer, or one for each of the 2 questions for AP Physics. So exam day setup, you can have your 2 windows. You can do the same thing that I just said for the other one. Watch your timer, submit when it is time. It'll go through this again in a minute, but make sure if you're doing any of this, go ahead and set up a folder on your desktop called AP Exam Answers, AP Physics 1, something like that, and then create the Word file or whatever file you're going to use to submit in there with your number and your initials ready to go. So all you've got to do is start typing your answer. Make sure you hit save a lot. Submit it when you've got 5 minutes left to go. You can also attach photos of handwritten response and click submit. To do that, you got to write your AP ID and initials and page number at the top of each page of the response. This is a handwritten response. Write your response clearly with a dark pen or pencil. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, You take a photo of your response in vertical orientation, not landscape. It needs to be up and down like you would hold a sheet of paper to read normally, not hamburger style, I guess, hot dog shape. Anyway, take your picture, 1 page per photo. Don't have 2 pages and take a picture of both of them. Take a picture of page 1, take a picture of page 2 if you write on multiple pages. If your response is longer than 1 page, you have to have multiple photos. It's a maximum of 5 pages of written response for each question. So it's a max of 5 photos for each question. If you write onto a 6th page, they're not going to get it. They're not going to be able to submit that. Make sure to attach all of your pages before you hit submit. You can do that with a PNG, a JPG, or a JPEG, JPEG. Any of those file formats will work. Just know that I said that it's a max of 5 pages. You can probably answer these questions in a page, page and a half. 5 is at the extreme. If you have really big handwriting, if you really feel like you need it, you've got it, they expect that you're going to have far less than that. There's not enough time to fill up 5 pages for most folks. All right, exam day setup, smartphone or tablet, display the test questions. You may need to scroll within the question, display the timer, use to take photos of the written work with your phone, attach and submit photos of written work. All right, next, check your browser. If you can't access the exam demo available on May 4th from cb.org/AP2020, this is, anybody can do this. I'm going to be doing it. You won't be able to take the real test. Follow these steps to change your browser. AP Exam will only open in the latest versions of Chrome. That's their preferred browser. They've designed it with Chrome in mind. Firefox, Safari, or Edge. If you use Internet Explorer for some reason, I'm not going to make fun of you, but don't use it on the exam day. It won't work with that. If you need to install Chrome, Chrome is free. Do a Google search for get the latest Chrome browser, set it up. Make sure Chrome or Firefox, Safari, or Edge is your default browser. So when you open the test, it's going to pull it up in Chrome or one of those others. Send an email to yourself with a link to the website that you like, website you like. Click the link, see what type of browser opens. If it's Internet Explorer, you got to change your default. This is stuff to test before you take the exam. You can go in and do the practice exam demo on May 4th 6 times. There's not questions to answer. It's all about using the testing program, not about the questions included. If you need to change your default browser to Chrome, do a Google search for set default browser for your device and operating system if you know it, and it will tell you how to do that. Disable any browser plugins or extensions. Grammarly is the big one. To ensure you can access the exam, keep plugins you need for accessibility. If you have something that's specific for your accessibility needs, something like Chrome Vox or anything else, you should be good to go. Do a Google search, how to disable browser extensions if you don't know how to do that. Check your tech, prepare your documents for typing. Decide whether you're going to be using Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, or some other application. Make sure you turn on autosave. You might as well turn on autosave and have it save as often as you want. Save it every minute so you don't lose your work. If you're using a cloud environment like Google Docs, you want to attach your document rather than copy and paste, you need to download your response in one of the approved formats. So you'll have to export it to .doc, .docx, PDF, text file, save it to your device, then upload it. It's a lot of steps. It's easier if you have the file you're working on saved on your computer first. Before test day, prepare your documents by typing your AP ID and initials at the top, saving it in a clearly labeled folder on your desktop so you can find it. For AP English, AP History, you'll need to create just 1 document per exam. There are 2 questions for AP Physics 1, so you're going to need 2 files. Label them clearly so you're attaching the correct one. Don't finish AP Physics 1 question 1 and then go click on the file for AP Physics question 2 and upload it. Name the files something like the examples that are listed on here, AP Physics 1 question 1 .docx. You'll create your response in a document of your choice, and then you can copy and paste or attach it and submit your response within the online exam. Prepare your documents for handwriting. If you're using paper, white paper, lined, unlined. If you're doing music theory, you have to an answer sheet. Use paper that's standard 8.5 by 11 or close to it. I think that's mainly for people that are from Europe that use A4 paper, which is slightly larger, but they can still do that. Use a number 2 pencil or pen with blue or black ink. The maximum number of pages you can attach per question is 5. So at most, you're going to need 5 pages for AP English and AP History, 10 pages for AP Physics 1, and any other exam. It's highly unlikely you'd need to use as many pages. Your answers should probably fill up between 1 and 2 pages. Before test day, prepare your pages by writing your AP ID number, your initials, and the page number at the top of each page. For question 1, number it 1 through 5. Question 2, number it 1 through 5. Have 10 pages in front of you just in case. So you can fill them up and you can have them ready to go if you're writing it. You'll write your response with pen or pencil on your own paper, take a photo of each page, attach all photos, and submit them. Check your tech. All right, so you must use the most updated version of Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, Internet Explorer not supported. Disable Grammarly. Use the same device to start and submit the test. Don't start it on a laptop and then switch to your phone. If you decide to handwrite your essay or any part of your exam, yours are short answers, you'll have a maximum of 5 pages to upload. Use the AP 2020 exam demo to practice and test your tech. This is to find out if it works. If that doesn't work, you're in trouble. Practice submitting responses on May 4th. You can access the AP 2020 exam demo. There's the web link. It'll allow you to practice different ways to submit your responses. So you can do taking a picture, you can do a document, however. If you can't connect to the demo from your planned testing device, you can't access it on the testing day. Fix your browser, fix whatever setup you're using, try again. If you still can't access it, you can talk to Miss Young, our AP coordinator, and she'll contact our school's tech experts if you have a problem getting connected. You can contact me, I can try to help you as well. But on May 4th, go ahead and start practicing to make sure you're doing this. World Languages doesn't start till the 11th. Very important to test the demo. If you can't access the demo on May 4th, you can't do the exam. I'll check in with you guys to make sure that you're able to access the demo. If we have to troubleshoot anything, I will check in with you and hopefully we can get you sorted out before test day. What you need on your exam day. For all subjects, let's see, all except those with portfolio components, you have to have your exam ticket email or logging in from AP website and getting it. A completed exam day checklist. That's also posted in the documents that you should have been emailed about. I'll post that form, the exam day checklist, on my blog as well. You're going to have your device. You're going to have a browser, Chrome recommended, not Microsoft Internet Explorer. Internet or cellular connection. If you're on your phone, cell connection will work. Make sure it's a good connection. If you know that somewhere in your house doesn't get good cell connection and you're using a phone, don't go there. Go to a different place where you get a better connection. Any assistive technology or devices. So that's anything that helps you read or make sure that you can access the questions. Required for type responses, Word, Google Docs, Notes, or something that you can enter and save your text. You can have class notes or study guides. I'm going to let you have the Physics Bible. You can have anything you want. Textbooks and other classroom resources. You can have anything you want to use on the exam. They don't care. This is a test of how you interpret that information. If you don't know it well enough to quickly glance at something or get a reminder and you spend the whole time trying to research it, you're going to run out of time. So they don't care if you have all those things in front of you. If you're reading your notes for the first time when you're taking the test, it's not going to help you. You're going to run out of time. Previous assignments or assessments. You can have any of the stuff that I gave you in class in front of you. There's some different requirements for music theory, but you can read that or hear from your music theory teacher. Advice about optional resources. You can use class resources and class notes on this year's AP exams. Following resources can be used either printed or digitally. Class notes or study guides. textbooks or other classroom resources, previous assignments or assessments, calculators for certain exams. Shared study notes must be downloaded to each student's device to prevent collaboration violations. So you don't use shared information. Internet searches will waste your time and put you at risk of an exam violation. The more time you spend searching the web, the less time you have answering the questions. Internet-based facts, research, and opinions aren't relevant to the AP exam and won't raise your score. Copying from websites, social media, and online forums is plagiarism, will be detected and your scores canceled. They're going to check your answers and see if what you got came from a website. I'll post my physics Bible for use during the exam. Typo. I made a typo. Try to limit the papers that you have access to so that you don't become distracted with more materials than you need. Don't have a whole desk in front of you of stuff that you're going to try to go through to answer questions. Not enough time. Okay. Have simple, short physics Bible in front of you that you can go, oh, this is a question about rotational momentum. And you can find that section if you need to. Look for your email confirmation in your e-ticket 2 days before each exam. You're going to do the practice exam on May 4th. All that is checking to make sure your technology works. You're going to get a confirmation email on May 4th with your AP ID and the list of exams you're registered for. So that should have all of that information there. You can check which exams you're registered for in My AP. You can take that practice exam as many times as you want. So on that day, go ahead and try to log in, make sure you can get it done. If you want to try it on different technology and see which you prefer, you can do that. If you're not listed as registered for an AP exam, you weren't part of the exam registrations that were received from the school, it's too late to generate an e-ticket for you to test this year. There's nothing they can do about it. So if everybody in here should be registered, I've checked again and again with Ms. Young, you should all be good to go. All right, complete the AP exam day checklist. 5 steps we just covered are listed in the AP exam day checklist. Students should fill out the checklist, keep it next to them during testing. There's a picture of it on the right. Print or hand copy the AP exam day checklist for each exam you take. The most important thing to fill in is your 8-character AP ID code, which is located on your e-ticket. You'll need this code to check into your exam 30 minutes before local start time. I'm going to put the checklist and the other files that are downloadable on my blog, just in case you can't get them from AP's website. It can be a little bit difficult to find things on their page sometimes. Exam day. On exam day, please plan to start the process at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Log in. Make sure you're good to go. All your technology and papers are sitting out in front of you. Your answer sheets are ready, whether that's digital or pieces of paper with your ID and initials on it. Have all of that stuff out 30 minutes before the test, because the test starts at 4 o'clock and you don't want to be logging in at 3:56 and find out that there's a problem, that you're missing something. Oh my gosh, where'd those notes go? Have everything ready to go 30 minutes in advance. Use your e-ticket, check in, complete your identity information, wait for the exam to begin automatically at 4 o'clock. It'll start at 4 o'clock whether you're ready or not. So if you're not ready and you don't get everything done that you have to do, you're eating up question time. You get 45 minutes for the total exam. So at 4 o'clock till 4:45, that's when your exam period is, that time is. You can read the question, develop your response, and then the last 5 minutes for each test question. This is for English, English and history exams. I got the wrong thing on here. You've got 2 questions. So you have 2 time sessions that you're going to have. The last 5 minutes is your exam should be done and you should be submitting your response. For your testing environment, do your best to test in a quiet room, remove any distractions, don't have your little baby brother running around screaming, try not to have pets around. Go into do not disturb on your phone or any other device that might distract you. I know your TikTok videos are super popular and you're going to get all kinds of notifications that people are commenting on your Instagram. Let it go for the testing time. Let your parents, guardians, siblings, and friends know you'll be testing so they don't disturb you. I know you want to go binge Tiger King later for the 3rd time, I guess. I don't know, maybe you want to watch The Office. But don't. Get the test done. Make sure that you're secluded. Make sure your device is plugged in. Don't depend on your phone battery to last the whole time, or your laptop battery, or whatever. If you have limited bandwidth, ask others that are on your network to limit the use of the internet during your exam, particularly high bandwidth activities. You got somebody playing Call of Duty or Fortnite, streaming Netflix. That's not the time to have them doing that. Please ask them to give you sole use of the internet during that time. Have your checklist and required documents next to you. Exam security. You may not incorporate work which is not your own, and you may not provide or receive aid of any kind from anyone. This is your test. It's not a test for somebody else. So to identify students attempting to receive help through the web, a phone, social media, sophisticated detection technologies and processes will be applied. Most techniques will remain confidential to maximize their effectiveness. They're not telling you what they're doing or how they're looking for these things. They are. So they're not going to tell you, because someone out there, not one of you guys will take this honestly, someone out there would be like, how can I defeat that? Just take the test. Just do your best. We'll be monitoring social media and discussion sites to detect and disrupt cheating. So if people are trying to share answers or questions online, they're going to try to block that. They may post content designed to confuse or to deter those who attempt to cheat. So there may be false information getting spread about the questions, and they're going to look for that. And if you come up with an answer that's very specific and looks like bogus information that they've disseminated on the testing day, that looks as though you're cheating. They're going to be detected when they go through and or look at your testing answers when they're scoring your exam. Scanning for plagiarism with plagiarism detection software shared directly. Your exam is going to be given to us to look at. So I'm going to get your exams back as well. Students violating exam security will face severe consequences, which includes having your name reported to college admission offices for attempted cheating. Not worth it. I know it's a free class. If you do really well on this, it is not worth the risks to try to cheat on this. I don't think I need to say that enough, because it will potentially ruin your education future if you get caught cheating. Your AP score exams or get canceled. Your school that you're planning on going to will find out that you were cheating on the test. More about exam security can be found at a link that they have provided in the actual document that I'm going through. You can report cheating attempts. If you find out that somebody's going to do this, they're going to cheat, please take this seriously, because if it turns into a big cheating event, nobody gets credit. You don't want the scores invalidated. You don't want your college to say, you got a 5, but it was during 2020, and so we're not giving credit for 5s this year because there was so much cheating. So please, please be honest. Check into your exam 30 minutes before your start time. Check in by clicking your specific e-ticket for that exam. You'll need to spend a few minutes passing through security filters to confirm your identity, answering some questions, filling some stuff out. A timer will show you how much time remains till the start of the exam. Once the exam starts, the first exam question will automatically appear. You do not refresh. Don't refresh your browser. Don't hit the back button. Notice there's a timer on here. It'll look something like this on exam day. It'll start at around 30 minutes, probably less because you'll have to answer some questions. And then it will count down, and when it hits 0, boom, that question should show up, and everybody in the world that's taking your test will be beginning. Answering the exam questions. There's 2 questions for AP Physics 1. For most questions, it's divided into 2 parts. Label in alphabetical order. Use the letters to organize your response. Make sure you're not accidentally skipping any part. Just like you saw with my test questions where there were multiple parts for a particular question, it'll be divided up like that. There's no limit to how much you can put on one page. Just clearly mark, I'm starting part A here, I'm starting part B, and so on. You can use spell check and grammar check. Shouldn't provide an advantage because they don't care about that stuff. They're not looking to see if you can spell or get your grammar correct. If you have Grammarly, however, disable it because it can mess up the exam. You can print the test questions and annotate them if you like, but you can't use annotation software to annotate online. Exams with more than one question, you won't be able to move on to the second question until the time for the first question has fully elapsed. Once the time for the first question is finished, the second question will automatically appear. So if you haven't submitted and it bumps you to the second question, you're done. There's no chance to submit the first question. Once you submit the first question, you can't go back to it. The second one won't show up until time is expired. So wait till the 5 minutes, submit your question, and then wait. It'll be a little bit less than 5 minutes for the next question. Managing your time. You'll see a timer at the bottom of your screen showing how much time remains to create and submit your response. Remember, 5 minutes left means you have 5 minutes to submit it, not to keep working. When the 5 minutes before the timer is up, it will turn red like the one on the right, and it will start counting down. When that is done, and if you have not submitted your work, attached, copy paste it, took pictures of it, something like that, you don't get credit. Losing track of time, not submitting a response before time runs out is not an acceptable reason for requesting a makeup test. You sit there the whole time and you're like, oh, I didn't do it. I'll just take it again in June. They're not going to give you an extension or a retake for that. AP is going to set standards for scores of 3, 4, and 5 this year so that it's not more difficult to earn high AP scores this year than it was in prior years. There's more about this, I think, coming up. They don't curve your responses. You are not competing against other people. They're looking at the difficulty threshold of the questions, and that's how it's scaled. Submitting responses is a 2-step process. Attach and paste your response, click submit. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, your response will not count. Once you click submit, your response may continue to transfer depending on bandwidth, which is fine. You can move on to the next question. So if you've got slow internet connection and you finish question 1 and you've got 5 minutes to get it submitted and you do that, question 2 starts and it's still submitting, it doesn't matter. Work on question 2. It'll keep uploading your answer. As long as you've started the submit before the time runs out, you're good to go. Your response continues to transfer after the exam ends. Wait for the on-screen message confirming your exam is complete. Don't say, well, I'm done. I clicked submit. I'm good to go. Wait for it to say that everything is complete. Make sure your submissions have fully loaded before you close your browser, turn off, or restart your computer. If you never see your AP exam is complete message, you're going to have to go request a makeup exam. You can explain that situation. You'll have to take the June test. That's why it's super critical, super important that you test everything out on May 5th so that you don't take the test and then find out that you couldn't submit your answers, that it didn't work. What could go wrong? You accidentally close the browser, your device crashes, you lose internet access. All you have to do is go to your e-ticket, click it, it will continue where you were at. Okay, so you lose a few minutes maybe out of the time period for the question. If you feel that you have a disruption that negatively impacts your performance, maybe your internet's out 15 minutes, then you request a makeup. Take it again in June. During the exam, don't refresh your browser or hit the back arrow. If you refresh, you go back, it screws it up. Don't call their customer service. Remember, there's no call centers active for them at this time. If you spend too much time trying to get a technical problem solved, you can't connect to your exam, have some other serious disruption, request the makeup exam. Troubleshooting is for May 4th, not for exam day. Testing with accommodations. If you're somebody that gets accommodations, you don't need to submit any further requests. Those were already submitted by the school. Ms. Young should have submitted them. Extended time is provided through the online exam. If you get extended time as an accommodation, you'll get it. It'll tell you your timer will be larger. Online exams will be compatible with assistive technology. If you have a screen reader, some kind of Zoom functionality to read small text, that should work. Students approved for screen reader software should ensure it works with Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Microsoft Edge. Internet Explorer can't be used. If you are approved to use specific devices or aids, you may use what you have access to at home. If you're approved for a reader or a scribe, somebody that will assist you during the test, you can have a family member or household member assist you during the test, but you have to be approved for that. Don't just assume because I'm saying this that you can have somebody else sit there and assist you with the test. Temporary afflictions. Let's say you have a temporary medical or physical condition. You break your hand 2 days before the test and you got a cast. You can request temporary assistance to take the exam. You've got to contact them through that website at that URL. You have to have accommodations that you are approved pre-approved through College Board for if you're a student with a disability. Again, if it's a temporary thing, contact them and get that cleared. Exam scores, credit, and placement. Use your free score send. Sign into My AP no later than June 20th to indicate which college or university should get your scores. After June 20th, it's $15 for each score report sent, $25 per report for rush processing. So if you want to send your scores, you know where you're going to school, make sure you get that handled. You get a free score send before June 20th. AP exams are going to be scored by AP readers just like they normally are. College professors, experienced educators in each exam subject, they're going to be doing it from home this year. Normally they all get together at a convention and grade. This year they're doing it from home. It's going to be reported on the usual scale of 1 to 5 to accommodate extended scoring schedule, which requires all exams to be scored online in readers' homes. AP scores will be released to AP students approximately 1 week later than usual. Usually it's around July 4th that the scores come out. This year it's going to be July 15th, about. Don't freak out if you don't hear from them on July 15th, somewhere around then. All right, that is it for what they have asked me to share with you guys. So if you have any questions, I'm going to see if I can answer them. I don't see any questions in the chat. If you would like to unmute yourself and ask me a question, you are welcome to. And if I don't have any questions, I'm going to post all the stuff that I can find, and you can get it on my blog and ask questions later, however you like. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm not used to talking every day because I'm not teaching 3 classes every day. I'm going to lose my voice. All right. I am not seeing any questions. I won't keep you guys any longer. It's a little bit longer than a half hour, but I wanted to make sure that I went over this. This was very important. I'm going to save this file, the recording file. I'm going to try to get this uploaded and shared as well. So if you want to go back and look at this, if your parents want to look at this, you can do that. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. Have a great day. Hope everybody is still doing well. Miss you guys. I would much rather be teaching right now than trying to teach from home. It's not fun. Hi, Pikachu. I see you.